Fisher people, I'm Alan Norris from FishOn TV and it's Sunday the 13th of June and I've just arrived at the wonderful Hayfield Lakes for another Maver Match This qualifier. I'm a right glutton for punishment and it is already 17 degrees. It's going to be cracking the flags today. And I was wide awake at 5 o'clock this morning. Very, very excited indeed. Always am when it comes to fishing. Dave Wood, excuse me, Dave Wood thinks I'm crackers. But anyway, that's me, just me. Always very excited for the day's fishing. It's a lot better than working. So I'm sure Andy Kinder will be there. I'm hoping he's going to give me a lovely peg. Where's the fish going to come from? No idea. Absolutely no idea. The record was broken last time. They were spawning and was it Dan Bennett absolutely emptied it on peg 57. So they reckon, I reckon the end peg sort of 81, 57 areas on the island. I don't know, 45's not really performed just yet, but that's usually can be quite a good area. Where's the winner going to come from? Don't really know. Not sure at all. At all. Little Adams, not really heard too much happening from Little Adams. I had a word with Andy Kinder yesterday, asked him if things had changed since last time, and no they haven't. Tactics, you've got to look at shallow, so shallow rig, mugging rig, pellet waggler and bomb. They're going to be the four main areas I would have thought, but all depends where you get drawn. Margins, not really, unless I'm on an end peg and you've got a bit of room, then you've got to have a look. If I'm drawn in an area I think absolutely no chance, I think you've got to set or prime something for your skimmers to try and win your section. The top 2 and 2 on the slope, usually a match winning area, or can be a match winning area should I say, but I've not seen anybody fish on it, and I've not really heard of too many people catching in that area. Everybody seems to be aiming for shallow. The fish do seem to swim about on the surface quite a bit when it's like this. The air pressure, even though it's nice and bright, isn't mega. It's not high. It's obviously above average. But I think, looking at what we all know about fishing, when it's sunny like this, you've certainly got to be looking at shallow. So they're my sort of thoughts. Let's see where I get drawn. There's going to be a lot of people packing up early. There always is when there's 100 anglers on over 3 lakes. It's a full complex, so it's a very difficult day's fishing as far as trying to win the match. Not easy at all, especially with all these mighty fishermen. I'm sure Steve Clegg will probably be here with a hangover. Every time I see him on a Sunday, he's always got a hangover. He's got his own bar and he's got his man cave. So we'll see if we can see Steve Clegg. He'll probably be having a breakfast if he is here. Dave Burley's here. I know he's done a load of prep last night. Whilst drinking a bottle of Budweiser, he'd got a shallow rig ready. Go on, Dave. Who's to argue with that? He always seems to qualify. He knows this place inside out. So good luck, Dave. Right. We'll see Andy Kinder in a few minutes. I'm about 8 cars away. Let's see where I get drawn. I'm not saying fingers crossed, and I'm not saying GoPro stop recording. It never bloody works. Right, over and out.
Hello, Nosh.
Morning, Andy. How the devil are we?
Present incorrect. 20 pounds, look at that. You don't get that very often off him, I'll tell you.
Get them mothballs off it, Andy.
Look at that. just shake this one, bud. Alan Nosh. Yeah. Go on, Al. I'll try and draw you a good one.
Go on, where are we going to get drawn?
This is the one. I'll even open it on camera so I can't see it.
Island 28. That's next to where I was last time, isn't it?
End peg.
Is it end peg, is it? Right, lovely.
Alan, you got to go all the way around. You can't go in from this end, you've got to drive down this back.
Yeah.
It's the peg that Matt Godfrey had last match.
Yeah, that's right.
Fished it, I fancy that today.
Lovely. And this is Steve Clegg, the hangover, the hangover kid.
No, sober, I ain't had a drink.
Are you dyslexic?
Yeah.
You nearly got it right.
Nosh, Norris, sorry.
It's Nosh, yeah.
No, it... 28 Island.
What do you reckon?
That what?
Matt Godfrey's.
Matt Godfrey's peg.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Right, we'll have a go.
Corner, be alright today, that.
Right, we'll see how we get on.
Hopefully.
And I want a bag of
Anyway.
8mm pellets, please.
Anyway, to me, it's Nozzer.
Right, folks, here I am. We've got 45 minutes before we tee off. Oh no, that's golf, innit? Right, peg 28. It's where Matt Godfrey was. When I drew it, I wasn't that happy, to be honest with you, because I fished in the next peg and I had an awful day. But having said that, we did have sun, hailstone, snow, rain, wind, and it's just wasn't a nice day. I struggled like crazy, and 3 pegs up to my left, I struggled there. We had no chance of winning from here on all this section here. It was Big Adams. I asked Dave Burley where he's drawn a nice end peg, 37 is it, I think? I can't remember, it's 37, 38, something like that. On the end peg there, it's black over with fish, he says, over there. So we were happy with that. This is an end peg. So you've got to fancy a few fish, and there's some nice margins down there. But I wasn't overly happy. But when I've got here, just looking round, I'll show you it. So this is what's straight in front of me. And as we go around here, I think, I can't really see on my camera, that's the last fisherman over there. And then we've got all this corner. Now they do that because this area ain't that good. But you've got to fancy margins down here, and you know, and if you can, I don't know if you can actually see, but I can't see as many now, but when I turned up there was fish all round here, dotted everywhere. I mean there's one down here in the dark there. There's been fish just down here, but again I can't see any. There's 1 or 2 mooching about round here. So I haven't put my gigs on, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 5 slightly to my right there. And now there's a few more just turned up a bit, so they've just come back up again. There's fish in this corner. So what I've done, my main attack is going to be mugging, slapping with an 8mm. Waggler margin later on. If I'm catching mugging and slapping all day and I don't have to change, I won't do. I've got the bomb rod and method rod set up just in case. It's one of them strange old days. I can have a cast into the corner there. There's fish been splashing in that corner with the method or bomb. That's pretty much it. So hopefully it's going to be a mugging, slapping and waggler day, possibly bomb. I've got a feeling we might get 1 or 2. I hope I haven't just put my foot in it. I've got Neil Carr to the side of me. On the left there's Neil, give him a wave, Neil. And we've got Ivan next to him. I've forgotten his surname, he has told me. I've got Ivan the next one down. And as you can see, oh, have a look. As you can see, it's a full house all the way down there. And it's same on the other side. Dave Burley, he's right in this corner over here. So I've just had a quick chat with him, and he's basically set the mugging rig up and slapping rig, and he says that's about it. He'll have something else set up, he'll have his waggler set up with a bomb rod, I'm sure, but that's an area where a lot of fish come from last time. He fancies it from there. Take some beating, does Dave on here. So 40 minutes to go. We'll see you when we get fishing. Over and out. Right folks, we're 15-20 minutes in. I've had one first put in, I forgot to put my mic on. It messed all my bloody rig up with jiggling about in the net. And I hooked into another one that I think was foul hooked. That trashed that one. Well, that's off again. He's wanting to go. Mugged this one as well. Well, there's definitely 1 or 2 fish. And a nice fish as well, you can tell they've spawned. The first one was about £8, an £8 common. So yeah, 2 rigs trashed in 2 goes. You can't write it, can you? Like I say, I think the second one was foul hooked, it went off like an absolute steam train. And this ain't doing bad neither. All those fish that were here a minute ago, once there's been 1 or 2 fish being caught, they've gone. I can't see any. I just managed to see this coming towards me from about 20 metres. So I went out to 14 metres, flicked it in front, and bump. Bump? And they're all decent sized fish as well, I've got to say. This bloody thing over here. Will they come up? Yes, got him. And Dave Burley was straight into one. I think he's had a couple and lost one as well, same as me. So that's about five or 6 pound. So 20 minutes in, I've got about. I'm going to go over because I've got 14 on my clicker, it may be less, but I do not want to hit the 50. Just go over the £50 limit by an ounce because otherwise your net goes back. Simple as that. And all I'm using today is an 8mm. The fishery pellets, some are darker than others. At the minute I'm catching on the lighter pellets. But my hands are all wet and slippy. So that's where we are. I won't be doing loads of updates because I've got some fish to catch. But I'll keep you in touch on how we're doing. Neil at the side of me has lost one at the net. But all these fish that were here a minute ago, all to my right, have all gone. Damn it. So many updates, I've just shipped out and got one. So let's hope it stays on. Everybody seems to be slapping and mugging. I've not fed anything yet, I don't see any point while this is happening. Just keep picking 1 or 2 fish off. It's certainly not wanting to come in, this one. Let the elastic do the work, I'm not in any rush. Not going anywhere, am I? That's for certain. Come on, England, we should be watching England play footy. Good luck, England, that's all I can say. Wales managed to sneak a result, didn't they? Come on, the fishes. Come on, the carps. That feels like a fairly heavy fish, this one. Come on, let's be a monster. Right, I don't want to rush him. See if we can catch him by surprise. Up, 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 up. No. No, he's not quite ready yet. I find with these carp, it's like trying to sneak them up. Get that net snuck under them before they realise what's going on. It feels like a bit of a beast. definitely been on guineas. Neil's firing his pellets out. There's 1 or 2 fish still knocking about. They're all gone, but I just keep seeing 1 or 2 show the faces. Telltale signs. Come on, Mr. Carp. Let's see you. Let's be having you. Oh, he's wanting to go, he's wanting to go. Another one in front of me, a mugger. Come on, I've got to get you in. There's one there. Oodles of them. Yeah, he's putting a decent scrap up as this lad. I hope he's a big boy. Wow, it is. Saying there's no rush, but God, this is taking its time. And it's red hot, ladies and gentlemen. It's red hot. I'm absolutely, even though the sun's not out, it's boiling. Oh, it's just a bit too far out for me there. If I'd have been closer, I'd have had him. Come on, the fish. Right, we'll see if I can sneak up on him. Come on, fish, come on. Oh, I just can't quite get them. Just stayed on edge of the bloody net. Just couldn't get my net right under him. Just couldn't scope it under him enough then. I got him. Just waggled his tail and just swam over top of the net. Bad netting, Al, bad netting. This time, come on. He's not wanting to come up, is he? He's a decent sized lad and all. How rude that, doesn't it? Go on, Bennett. Glasses are steaming up, I'm getting a sweat on. Got him. We've got him, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. He put a mighty battle up, that lad. You can tell they've spawned because I bet he'd have been 3 or 4 pound heavier a few weeks ago. Or she. Great long un. There we go, look at that belter. It's to be about 9. I'm going to put 10, but I think he's about 9. Is that long? I can't get him out of the bloody net. I'm going to put 10 on for that. There we go, update soon. I've not had anything since those 3 and a bite. All the fish have disappeared that I could see earlier. I had to go on the waggler. I've just put an heavier waggler on. I've gone a little bit deeper with a red pellet. Left it on the splash. Give it a twitch. Boom. Straight round. Boom. There's a guy further up on the island, admitting I've heard him say 51 pound. I think Ivan says he's got about 26. In at the side of me, I'm not sure what he's got. I can't. 3, has he? 2 or 3. I've just hooked into this, so hopefully this will take me up to the 30 pound mark. Dave Burley's had about 6, I think. maybe 7. Looks like a solid enough fish as well. Not the biggest, but it's another fish. Probably about 4 poundish. No, 3.5 I'm going to give him. Well, I'll put 4 on my clipper because you don't want to go over the net limit, and that's taking it right down. That didn't even have to strike it, will just pull the rod straight round. There we go. We'll give him 3.5. It takes me to about 27, 28. Do with some big lumps though. Right, 1 or 2 cruisers knocking about, but they're really steaming through. What's happened there then? There's something not right there with the float. Right, I'll find out what's wrong with that float. It's not cocking. Right, it's been a while since I'd say about 45 minutes since I had the last one. I've just put a longer tail on the depth. I've just started trying to have the hook bait flicking well past my float, hopefully dropping, like mugging with the float really. I just saw a bit of movement near the rope. Oh, it's going a bit, is this? Cast it in, and within like seconds it went straight under. I've noticed Dave Burley's doing the same as well. He's sort of sat there with his float dangling down and he's looking for fish and he's casting to them. Same sort of thing. I have to stand up. I don't want it going into the peg. Dave's got about, he must have about 10 now. I think he's probably got about 60 or 70 pound. He's just feeding his margin. I'm ready to feed mine as well actually. We went into the last 2 hours and 4 or 5 minutes of the match. I'm going to go down there with micros and corn, pellets, a few 6 or 8 mil pellets. Haven't decided which ones yet. That's the amount of fish that were here this morning, literally all gone. It moved right out. People are catching 1 or 2. I wouldn't say prolific though. Oh, it's a nice fish as well, this. He's putting a decent scrap up, and see him, he's really trying. He's like staying on top of water, he's like making himself twice as heavy. And now he's going to go. Oh, and he just fit in the net. My goodness me. I had to roll him in. A long fish. He's a good double figure, that one. decent size as well, that. They are mighty fish. I'm not enjoying me touching him or her. I'm sure it were a lot fatter than this a few weeks ago. Now I seem to be long and slender. Well, let's see if that'll come out with my fingers. Yes. What have I got on there? 28. Yes, I'll put 10 down for that one as well. They're the ones you want. Mighty fish. As you can see, I've put quite a bit more depth on, probably 4 foot plus the waggler itself. And that just did the trick. First cast from the longer length, so right, there we go. I'll put my 10 on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. £38. I'm guessing it'll be less than that, but I just don't want to go over the 50, so I'll start filling another net. Me hoping I'm going to have nets full. That'll do it. Right, there we go. Right, folks, there's about 20 minutes left. Dave Burley has kept catching on his waggler, sort of dobbing it about everywhere wherever he's seen fish casting to him and getting 1 or 2. I've heard him say he thinks he's got £100, maybe just over. We've heard Paul Wright's got 20 carp, so I don't think he's a million mile away, Dave. I think he could do a few more. We struggle a bit here, pretty close between us three, me and Ivan. So I don't know how the sections run, to be honest with you. Whether it's these 5 or whether they go over there, I'm not sure. But I've got on my clicker, I think it might be less. It says 38, but I think I've been generous just to make sure I don't go over the £50 limit if I'd have kept catching, but just not been able to keep catching at all. I keep alternating. If I've seen anything that's worth mugging, having a go. Not interested like though this morning. Waggler, no bites on the waggler, keep trying the waggler. Gone on the bomb, Ian's just had one on bomb, so I thought, well, I've been priming a bomb line. Had a few goes on it and I've not had a sign apart from a 1-liner. I've had a look in the margin, not had a sign. I'm going to probably have the last 15 minutes in the margin. But no signs, a couple of little taps as if there were roach knocking about. And I'm not holding my breath too much there, but I have put some more bait down. I've got to have another look, see if we can get a couple more fish. So that's your update, 20 minutes to go. We'll see you at the weigh-in.
Good margin performance, I like saying here when we're watching him. Which leads us to our runner-up. Worst place in the world to finish on a winner-takes-all qualifier, unfortunately. But it's fished a great bites. From Ireland, Peg 21, with a weight of £144.11. Liam Smith.
Well done, Liam. Well done, mate.
And your winner on the day, and and he is our 20th qualifier for Match This here at Maver Dynamite Hayfield Lakes on the 4th of September. We called it right from the start, right when we were doing his early morning feeds and live Facebook feeds. From Adams, peg 6 with a weight of £180 exactly. Winner of the day, Paul Wright. Well done, Paul. Right, so there's your winner, Paul. Well done, Paul.
Well done, Paul.
Right, thanks, guys. That's the results over and done with here at Maver Dynamite Hayfield Lakes. More qualifiers to come. Messingham Sands next one, I think, isn't it? Yeah, Messingham Sands next in 2 weeks' time.
Have a safe journey home, lads. Take care of yourselves.
Cheers, Andy.
Right, fisher people, we are all weighed in, and I think you will have seen the presentation. Well, how wrong we can be. I told you that a winner can come from anywhere here at Hayfield Lakes. Little Adams not really been performing that well. Most people have really wanted to draw Big Adams or the Island. I've drawn Island 28. It's not an area that I'm chuffed with, really. I know it was an end peg, but you know, like I had a word with Dave Burt, a few people, and there was sort of, which is what I thought. But when I got there were loads of fish just sat on the top sunbathing. So I thought, oh, there's a few muggers here, get in. And I got one straight away, first drop in. I didn't film that one, I forgot to connect everything up, but I ended up with a nice sort of 7 or 8 pound common carp. So I thought, get it, I'm going to have a right day here. 3 nets in, here we go, let's get them filled. You've got to have a little giggle now and again, haven't you? So I went out on the next drop in and I foul hooked one, which, oh sorry, the first one with it spinning in the net. As I was shipping it towards me, it snapped the hook length, so I had to change the hook length and went back out on another one. So I wasn't happy about that one. I mean, you know, you wanted to, while the fish are there, you wanted to get out there. So I went back out. Once I put a new hook length on, and under it went again into another fish, but I think it will foul up because it just went crazy, this one, and that trashed all the gear. Came in, it was just, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So put that one on side, next mugging rig out, flick that out, straight into another one. Brilliant. I thought I was going to have a right day. So ended up landing that fish. I don't know how big was that one, 6 poundish or so, can't remember exactly. And then the same thing, hooked into another one. So I had 3 fish in the space of about 40 minutes, something like that. So I had 25 pounds in the net, roughly, in 40 minutes. And I was highly delighted with it. That I just thought, right, let's keep going. When I went out for the 4th time, I looked, I thought, well, where's all the fish gone? It just completely disappeared. So I just thought, well, I'll have a little dob about. You know, what I did notice was while I was tackling up, 1 minute there'd be half a dozen fish, 10 fish, then half a dozen fish. They were like going a bit deeper, then reappearing. So I went back out, just sort of dobbing it about, and had absolutely nothing. So I thought, right, I'll fire a few pellets. I started slapping a little bit, 14.5 meters. And I just didn't have anything, nothing whatsoever. Onto the waggler. I think maybe half an hour in onto the waggler, I ended up with a carp. Then nothing for God knows how long. I tried the bomb. I tried mugging again. Every time I saw a fish appear, I'd do a bit of mugging. Just couldn't seem to get them interested whatsoever. I noticed Dave Burley had cut his feed out, and he was casting a small waggler, and he was basically dobbing with a waggler. Wherever he saw a fish, he cast to it, and he's done really well. It's a nice area where Dave is. Again, I heard him mention that all the fish had disappeared, but whenever he saw anything, he was casting to it, and he was catching quite well. He's ended up with 119 pounders, Dave. So well done, Dave. What a mighty fisherman you are. I don't think you could have done much more there. Steady day for you. He's won his section. And I adjusted my waggler hook length, well, from the, you know, the depth. So you're casting out every time I saw a fish. And the first time I readjusted the length and the depth, I hooked into I think it was about 10 pound. It was a belting fish. I thought that'll do. And I continued to do that for a good hour, but nothing else materialised after that. So I thought, well, there's plenty of pellets down there. Onto the bomb. I've tried the bomb 3 or 4 times. I've never had a touch on the bomb. I've primed the margin. Looked lovely. I thought there's got to be some fish there. There's no movement, no noise, no nothing. Primed the margin, and I had absolutely nothing apart from a few little taps, which I'm guessing bream and skimmers and roach who are probably having a little go at that. So I've ended up with, at the end, 38 pounds, which has actually given me second in section. I don't know the name of the guy that's won the section. I think he had 58 pounds. The 2 guys to my left didn't bother weighing in, but it's been, you know, it's been a glorious day. I've definitely caught the sun, I think. I don't know, I'm not sure, but it's been red hot. Always enjoy me fishing, but it's just not happened. And there's been a lot of other people struggled, but there's been some people done really well. And I spoke to Paul Wright. I asked him where he'd drawn this morning. He said peg 6 on Little Adams. And I went, well, that can be okay, Paul. And I daren't tell you what I thought he said, but he wasn't happy. He didn't look happy. And he's a mighty fisherman, he's Paul. He's a Lindholme specialist. He's ended up winning the whole event with 180 pounds. So Paul Wright, what a mighty fisherman you are, son. Well done. I know you weren't happy. Andy Kinder said he fancied you from the off. So well done, mate. I've no idea how he's fished. I'm guessing he's probably mugged and fished shallow and pellet waggler. I'm sure, because that's what most people have done today. So well done, Paul. Harry Bignell, we've seen Harry Bignell before. He wasn't happy with his peg. I think he was on peg 36 Adams. He's ended up coming fourth with 120 odd pounds. So well done, Harry. He wasn't happy with that peg neither, but he's a mighty fisherman, he's Harry. Remember Harry was taking the mickey with the taking pictures of himself, wasn't he? Headley might actually put that back up again. But that's it for me today. Really enjoyed the day. It's been nice company. Neil and Ivan at the side of me, nice company. Watching Dave Burley catch quite a few more fish than me. At least it wasn't as poor as last time I fished it. I was hoping for better things when I saw the fish in the corner there, but it just didn't happen. But never mind, there's always another go. It's the Feeder King for me on Wednesday, and the week after that it is the UK Champs at Hallcroft Fisheries. I love me fishing, but I'm not sure I'm looking forward to that one. Right folks, that's it from me. Don't forget, if you do enjoy my videos, it's absolutely free to subscribe. If you click the notification bell, we will send you all our notifications as we upload them. And don't forget, a thumbs up would be very, very nice. So until next time at Southfield Reservoir, I am not saying blankety blank, I've just said it. But we shall see. You just never know. It's back to normal levels. There are 1 or 2 more fish coming out. Not a great deal. It is difficult, so I'll take the cameras and we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon.